Nothing break. Nothing broke yet. Cross your fingers. Hey everybody. It's been a while. Let me start by seeing who's in the chat and see if I got this set up right. There's our buddy Bill from Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures saying hello, hello. Good to see you, my friend. Robert's Infinite Realms, one of my favorite carbon-based life forms. What's happening, Captains? Indeed. Andy in Indy, good to see you. Waiting is very Yoda-ish, and thankful we are. Yes, hopefully no whammies, no gremlins tonight. Lord, getting here tonight was a challenge. Let's call it 8 miles of bad road. We'll get into it. Yes, hopefully we are back at it and nothing crashes. I'll let you guys know what I've been up to. I've been doing the last several months while I've been incognito. He's back, I hope. Hopefully. Hey, there's Johnny. Good to see you, my friend. Missed you. Okay. Let me turn up the mic. You guys let me know if... Find the mic. Let me know if that works a little better for you. How's that? Thank you, sir. Just been tweaking some stuff, trying to figure out how to make all this work with a shoestring budget, chewing gum, baling wire, and a lot of cursing. A lot of cursing. As any of you know who've been dealing with computers in the last few months. Ruby. Yeah, we invested in a little bit of new equipment for the lair. Namely a new microphone, because my other one was a potato, as you guys know. The camera's still but seems to be working and not wigging out too much. You might see some camera flicker here and there. It's just the system trying to do its best. But oh man, we're trying. We are trying. Yes, the Cognito. It's a nice place to visit, but it's kind of like Ohio. You just don't want to really live there. Pass through. There's our buddy Grindhead Jim, a new Portlander. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you, sir. I'm glad the stream is actually working once. It's taken only 3 years to get here. Groovy. I've been having to learn a lot of stuff to try to get this to work. We'll get into it in a minute. Let me just get through the chat here. Oh, thank you, my friend. Yes, technology runs on curse words, frustration, and dark sorcery, it turns out. I didn't know. So we are caught up on the chat. Hello. Welcome to the lair. Again. Sort of. Thanks for hanging out. It's good to see you guys. I missed you. I missed doing this. I might not be good at it, but I have fun with it. We'll kind of get through all of the goodies here. Yes, indeed. Oof, definitely. That'll clean you right out. Almost as good as prune juice. We've been tinkering. We've been doing stuff. Some of you know I took a hiatus to start a new business venture. My wife and I opened a bar here in Guatemala. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about a few other things. We sacrifice goats here. That seems to be the best. Sometimes chinchillas, but they're hard to catch. Anyway, what have I got for you guys tonight? Let's see. Well, let me throw some stuff up. Oh, let me start with this. My celebratory last Guinness until my next trip to Belize. Because they don't sell it here in Guatemala for some reason. But my brother-in-law brought me a couple, and I figured to inaugurate getting back on the interwebs, I would enjoy my last Guinness I have in the house. So, drink them if you got them. And join me. A libation if you have one handy. L'chaim. Oh, that's good. I do love a good Guinness. I probably should have been Irish, but yeah, who knows? I'm a mongrel. I'm a Heinz 57. Well, thank you. I've been catching Robert's stuff. He's been doing some fun stuff. Definitely branching into some other material other than just the past plastic dollies and fun. It's been interesting to watch as your channel has evolved. My buddy Goji, good to see you, sir. Definitely enjoying some of the odd toys you find in the Goji bin. Those are fun. Not to mention some of the fun comics, the grab bag stuff. I like those. I can kill the music. Yeah, I just thought having nothing in the background would be worse because I have a new puppy for a neighbor, along with Eduardo, the kind folks who live next door. You might hear Eduardo. He hasn't been too vocal today, but definitely the puppy has. So if you hear barking in the background, it's not my dogs. They're actually pretty well behaved. It's the new one. So yeah, I put some music on there just to kind of cover that up. But hey, you know, I'm in the sticks. It's a thing. So we're rinky dink here. So let me know if that's better for you guys. I do enjoy bacon. Indeed. So, anyway, yes, that is, yeah. Oof. Papuardo. I like that. Eduardo and Papuardo. I don't know what they named him, but Papuardo is what we will call him. Indeed. It's a nice dog, but you know, yappy. So I've been working on some stuff. Let us start with, hey, there's the badger. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Uh, Put together some stuff here, and we'll see. Oh, let me turn that music back off. I kind of have it going everywhere. Put some slides together because my train of thought derails easily these days, as happens with most of us who have senior moments. So just thought I'd try some stuff out here. Is that an armadillo? Oh, it's a badger. Of course it's a badger. Nice. Indeed. Yeah, so let's jump into the layer update. Just some notes so I can kind of keep the conversation going. Feel free to chime in the chat because I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see what I've got here, if I can get this to work. Hey, that works, and it didn't crash. I'm impressed with myself. So here's what I've got on the docket tonight, guys. Talking about being a bar owner, switching to Linux Mint versus Microslop. Many of you probably have been dealing with similar issues. Getting back into the tube, Groundhog Logic. We just had a Groundhog Day. Savage Shadow, you guys probably know what that's about. And then what I'm calling drinking and thinking. It's what I do best. I drink and I pretend to know things, unlike that little short guy. So, let's see what we've got. Let's start with the bar. Yeah, it's been a challenge. Being a bar owner sounded good. I watched a lot of Cheers as a kid. I definitely enjoyed Sam Malone's little thing, and it's nothing like that at all. I've never owned a bar. I've had girlfriends and other significant people in my life who have been bartenders, barkeeps. I've never been a bar owner. So I figured, how hard could it be? You serve drinks. Yeah. Mm. It's been a challenge. I'm an expat. I am a resident, not a citizen, which means owning a business here, they kind of don't have an issue with. Running and actually working in the business, they frown on because then you're taking a job away from a native son or daughter. So I've run into some red tape with all that, getting paperwork, licenses, paying fees, some legal, some under the table, just to get things running. Yeah, pain in the ass. But got it running, got it going. As you can tell from our little buddy here, football, the one with the round ball, not football with the American ball, is very popular here, along with buckets o' beer. That is a big thing. I don't know why people want beer in a bucket. I like chicken in a bucket. Beer in a bucket? It's a thing. They do that here. So, the original place is called Los Toros, which is slang for beer mug. And that was the name of the place that we rented, so we just inherited it and went with it. Unfortunately, it was in a bad neighborhood, and we got a lot of, I'll gladly pay you next week or next payday if you guys can float me a couple of Gallo, Gallo being the popular beer with the chicken on it, or rooster, or cock. We're a few minutes in, I can say cock. So anyway, we had a lot of deadbeats who didn't want to pay for their beer, wanted to buy on credit. Uh, Not a great neighborhood. We decided to change locations and try again. So 2 months ago, about 2 months ago, I started uh, looking for a better place to rent, and we switched over to a new location, and we had to change our name because that name was owned by the people who actually, we were renting from. So we're trying to think of a new name, and this is kind of where we are with that. That's me in the new dump, and it is humble. That's the bar. As you can tell, it looks pretty rustic, and it is. Most buildings here are cinder block. It is very bare bones, folks, but the rent is affordable, and the guyo flows, and most guys are just looking to meet a cute gal who will sit with them, and they can tell them lies and drink beer with them. So I decided to call the new place the Doghouse. And we serve beer and antejitos. Antejitos is a slang word for like fast food, junk food. We serve, pupusas and little things, stuff you can nosh on while you're getting your beer on. We do shots too. We do a little bit of everything. I don't do much of the day to day anymore. People don't want to see the gringo running the bar. They just want locals. So my wife runs the day to day. My cousin, her cousin, which is my cousin from marriage, I don't know what he is. His name's Manuel. He's my Manuel labor. And he helps her run the bar. And then we have two bar girls who entertain the guests and make sure they always have a cold one when they need it and all that kind of stuff. So it's it's kind of breaking even. Um, it's not profitable, but it's not a huge drain either. So it's still a learning experience. So yeah, it's a thing. So the bar is still up and running. It's just in a new location now, and I will keep you guys posted on how things are going. So far, nothing's caught on fire, no fights, and the customers pay their tab. So I think that's working out pretty well. So let's see what the chat has to say about all that. Let me switch over where I can see the chat. There we go. I've never run a bar, but I've played a bar owner on TV and stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so I'm fresh. Nice. Yes, the past tense was the old location, but the bar is now in a new location. And my involvement with it is going to be less, so I can come back and do this, which I enjoy way much more than using my pitiful Spanish language skills to try and get by in a day-to-day affair. I really need to learn the language. But, I have old man brain, and putting new words in is difficult because old words have to fall out somewhere. Like splendiferous. I don't use it much. If I lose it, I don't think I'll notice, but there may be that one occasion. Anyway, that's where we are with that. So what else we got? I can't remember what the next slide is. Oh yeah, Linux. Because Microsoft, in their infinite wisdom, decided to stop support on Windows 10. Not that Windows 10 was doing gangbusters for me anyway. My hardware couldn't support Windows 11, even if I wanted to. And watching all the news about the garbage with updates and things crashing, it's not like I really wanted to upgrade my computer just to get new software that was going to make everything crash anyway. So I started doing some research and decided I would try Linux Mint. It's been a learning curve, but so far so good. I don't know how you guys have been dealing with the whole micro slop affair. I assume some of you have probably tried Linux for yourselves, one flavor or another, 1,000 different distros, different ways to make it work. Or you found in-runs around Windows. I know there's some techie ways to make it work without the AI and other gobbledygook thrown in there. So let me know what you guys are doing to deal with your operating system shenanigans. But so far, so good. I don't know all the things. I'm not a techie. I don't know how to use Python and do code and all that. So there's a lot of features I have no idea how to take advantage of. But the basic stuff works. There's no AI. Although I have tinkered with AI, as you guys know, with Brasilina, but nothing like this. There are some compatibility issues, but OBS works. A lot of other software that you probably know and love is compatible, or there's a alternate version that you can find there. So I'm making do. I'm still learning. I've just switched over a month or so ago, and it seems to be working. As you can tell, I'm using OBS right now. I no longer have StreamYard or any of the fancy stuff. So I'm trying to go with bare bones and make it work, and having to learn a lot of stuff I didn't know for making a stream work without crashing. So let's see what you guys have to say about it. Yeah. Sorry, I gotta move that logo. Get out of there. Okay. I had to get a new computer, and it was Windows 11. It's been a mess. Not sure if I'd want to learn Linux as an alternative, but it's more annoying than anything. Yeah. I get it, Robert. I was not looking forward to trying to learn something new, but a lot of the distros with Linux are very Windows friendly as far as they have the look, the feel of Windows. Mint is a good example. There's a couple of others that I don't really know, but if you do a little research, you can find something that if you're intuitively looking to click things the way you would in Windows, you can emulate it in a Linux environment. So it's worth looking into. I am using OBS with Mint right now. It is super compatible with Linux. All the plugins are a little wiggy, but you can get them to work. And I don't use all of them, but all the stuff you see on the screen tonight, all the plugins allow me to do the chat and all that good stuff. It's all Linux compatible. So if you want to do OBS for your streaming, you can do that in Linux. Johnny says, have to admit Microsoft is consistent at making devolving software year by year. Yes. You know, I remember Windows XP, Windows 7. There was stuff, it just worked. It was just something that worked in the background. It didn't crash as much. There wasn't a lot of slop. There wasn't a lot of fluff. Unless you wanted it. But ever since, I don't know, pretty much ever since Windows 7, Windows has sucked. And it's just gotten progressively worse. So I don't do a huge amount on my computer except video editing and tinkering. My operating system doesn't really matter that much to me as long as it works and gets out of my way. So that's what I was looking for. I just wanted something simple because I am simple. While I am partial to Debian, okay, yeah, base systems, Mint is a good version. Wine can get you critical wind. Yeah, I haven't tinkered with Wine or bottles, but I have heard if you absolutely positively need to use a Windows program, there's a way to do it inside of Linux using Wine and something called bottles, which I haven't tinkered with, but apparently that works really well, sometimes better than it would work on Windows as far as making things just work. So I will tinker with that. Mint is Ubuntu based. I haven't messed with any other distros yet, but I might tinker just for fun. Yeah, Windows just needs to work. And it doesn't right now. Hey, I know that guy. One half of Toyleet on my buddy Ed of Action or Action Figs if you're nasty. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you indeed. Grindhead says disabling all of Microsoft's BS isn't that difficult depending on what your expectations are. For those still on Windows 11, that need a reference point, get at me. Jim is definitely my tech guru and my spirit animal for all things furry and technically advanced. So, yeah, Jim's helped me in the past, especially with trying to figure out streaming stuff. Uh, Definitely somebody you should talk to if you want to figure out how to make your system work. Indeed. I don't know the reference. I know who Rand McNally. Well, I don't know Rand McNally. It's not like we had drinks and went out together. But you'll have to explain where you're coming from with that, Johnny. So that's pretty much all I got to say about it. We'll get on to something more interesting, unless you guys really want to talk operating systems. But in concert with that, the times they are a changing. Is YouTube still worth it? Is it worth the effort? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, beer almost went down the wrong pipe. So I took a hiatus, started a business, pulled most of my hair out. I still have some under the hat. A lot of it's in the back. It's turning a lot grayer than it used to be. I skipped gray. I went right to white. I'm not going to lie. But learning OBS, I had tinkered with OBS. It, if you're not good at tinkering, it's not easy to set up, at least for me. I liked using StreamYard because it's idiot proof. You just plug a few things in and go. But their fees are exorbitant now. When I first started with my buddy Will, I paid for our Canva and I built all the video stuff. He paid for StreamYard and it worked. We didn't have any real issues with making it work. But yeah, when they went up in fees and then Will started doing some other stuff, he had to take a hiatus. And then I don't think I've streamed hardly at all since he and I went different ways with what we were doing. So I'm back to OBS. I've learned how to get things working and not crashing. Although my CPU is like screaming at me. I added some RAM, so I've got 16 megs of RAM in my system instead of 8. That seems to help. I do not have a decent graphics card yet, but that's on my wish list. So as the bar was trickling in a little bit, I was putting some aside to buy some new bits and baubles. Mic was definitely the most expensive. It's an XLR and seems to be working much better than the potatoes I was using in the past. But yeah, upgrading a little bit here and there and just trying to learn the basic software that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. OBS is free. It's open source. You can learn it even if you're an idiot like me. So, but is it worth it dealing with YouTube's? I don't know what they're doing. Shorts are being pushed. There is some AI nanny bots that if you show a toy gun, if you say gun, I don't know. It just seems like I've seen guys get shut down from live streams and get demonetized for stupid shit. So it seems like the last few months while I've been out, I come back and things are like weird. So I don't know. Curious what kind of stuff you guys have going on dealing with. Yeah, Ed says StreamYard went crazy with their charges. I agree. I can't remember. Was it last year? They went from like 30 something to 60 something for the same features. Then they added some extra features that I didn't want, but wanted to charge me double. I'm like, no, thank you. So, oh, excuse me. Johnny says, I failed to OBS work at all for me. So, StreamYard throttles internet and picture quality. That it did for me when I had my system just with 8 megs of RAM. Excuse me. God bless Guinness. It gives you the wins. OBS looks great, but I don't understand it. I didn't understand it either, Johnny, to be honest. I tried tinkering with it and I just made a mess of it, but fortunately you can just delete it and start over. And I called Jim several times frantic, grindhead, and said, ah! So he talked me down off the ledge and said, breathe. It's not that hard. So you just got to tinker with it. So you can make it work. So anyway, I think it's still worth doing. I'm not monetized. I'd like to be. Speaking of which, I will bounce over here and just make a subtle reference. Turn the music back off. I still have a Ko-Fi. If you guys want to support the channel, I would appreciate it. I'm going to start doing some more articles and blog stuff here. I just have not had the time. But if you want to contribute to all of the shenanigans here, including dealing with tariffs and shipping, every little bit helps. So the link is in the top of the chat, I think, and it's in the description as well. So always good to plug stuff. So, oh, by the way, I got the toy cam working. I was going to talk about this in a minute when we get there, but I definitely have been looking at some new stuff, tinkering with the Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. I just got to remember which scene I'm on. I swear, I've only had the one. But, yeah, I still think, like I said, I think it's still worth doing. I'm going to take another stab at it. I got to figure out what's a good time where you guys are available and we can get together and do this kind of stuff. I want to do more lives. I definitely want to do more of my old school video content because I enjoy it. But script writing and editing is time consuming. I'll get back into it. I have a lot of things I want to tinker with, and we'll talk about some of that tonight. So, thank you for popping in, Bill. I appreciate it. Enjoy your sleep. Dream of fat bottom girls if you wish. I know I will. Have a good night. Grindhead says, you've definitely upped your game here with OBS. Thank you. There's always ways to optimize. Now you're in complete control. Indeed. Sometimes you have to wrestle with things. I couldn't understand why settings in the camera or the mic or this or that wasn't working, even though I did everything I thought I was supposed to do. Usually it's something simple. So thanks. It's getting better. Goji says, I pay for nothing regarding YouTube because I'll never make money on YouTube. Yeah, it's a hobby. Same here. I dumped my Canva subscription and use Adobe Express for free now. Cool. I have not tinkered with it. I did not hear great things about Adobe because they switched over to a lot more stuff you had to pay for. I haven't tried any of their free stuff. I use Canva. It's maybe 15 bucks a month. It's worth it to me just because there's so many assets that, clip art and goodies. So maybe I'll look into that. So we'll see. Yeah, there have been changes with Canva too. Indeed, as they say in the Outer Limits, we control the vertical, we control the horizontal. I love that show. Yeah, I wish it was that simple. But yeah, I like making videos. I like tinkering and finding clip art and finding stuff. But yeah, I don't understand or know how to use a lot of professional or normal video editing software. Canva has some video editing features, but it's nothing like what you would see in like Adobe or other software that's known for doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, I get it. Some people spend buku bucks on StreamYard and other things, and I guess if you're a big Twitch guy and you want to multi-stream and you're getting a lot of donations, it's worth the investment, but I don't think so. But, we're in a different league here. Toy tubers, guys who do pop culture stuff, doing anything with myth and lore and stuff. We're a smaller audience, I think, and definitely if you're not doing it as a hobby because you think it's fun, you're paying for stuff that it's never going to be a return on investment. ROI. Haven't used that in a while. So yeah, I like what Robert does. It's simple, and it's effective. He does his homework. He puts together a script. He gets his buddies Hordak and was it AJ, the wrestler? I don't know much about wrestling. I know it's sweaty men and baby oil. But No, that's a Diddy party. Never mind. But it's a thing. But I get it. There's no reason to pay for stuff if you can do it on the fly. It's more about imagination. It's more about, can you make a connection? Are we connecting? Can you feel me? Can you feel where I'm coming from? If you got something you think is interesting to say, or if you have a usual gang of idiots you like to hang out with that have common ideas or humor or whatever, I don't think you need all the bells and whistles, but they're fun if you can make them work. So, enough about that. Let's see what else I got on the agenda because I can't remember. What do we have? Yeah, it's Groundhog's Day again. I love that movie. And of course, that's my pilgrimage to Gobbler's Knob every year because that also happens to be my birthday. So me and Bill were driving with the groundhog, as you do. And so I watch that movie every year on February the 2nd and get a good chuckle. I would call it a dark comedy. It's got a lot of layers, like an onion. And yeah, I turned 55 this year. So one of the things that I thought about was the famous line from that film when he's hanging out with Poxitani Phil and tells him, don't drive angry. I think that's good advice. Not just on the road, because road rage is not fun, but just in life. It's really easy to get frustrated, especially with operating systems, OBS, YouTube, algorithms, other things, isms. As you chase your shadow through life, definitely try to find your vibe. Try to find your bliss, if you will. Something hippy dippy. I'm not really a hippie, but I probably could have been one. I was born in the 70s, but I was too young to really enjoy it. So don't drive angry. Don't drive yourself into something that's just going to cause you to get an ulcer. It's not worth it. That's my 55 years of advice. Oh, and avoid aches and pains if you can. Take really good care of your knees because you will miss them when you get older. Your knees, your shoulders, all that stuff. Keep the joints moving. So, yeah, that's that. Shadow and Savage. I bring that up because I did a piece on Doc Savage before I took my hiatus. I'm doing a piece on the Shadow soon that I've been tinkering with. I have the Mezco Shadow. The Mezco Doc Savage just released. It's in my pile of loot, which means I'll get it maybe in a month. It takes a while to get things shipped here from the States. But definitely got me thinking. There's a lot of pulp fiction stuff that seems to be in the zeitgeist right now. Are these guys pulp perfection or are they past their prime? I'm curious what you guys have to think about. We're going to talk about that, Johnny. That's on the next slide, mister. Nick Cage he is definitely a spirit animal of sorts. I celebrate that day. Ooh, good pork sausage McMuffin. That's a good way to start a Groundhog Day. But, yeah. Sorry, just catching up with the chat. I like Pulp Fiction heroes. I've been reading their stuff and listening to some of the old radio serials. Some of that's available on Internet Archive for free. There's some comics out there. Oh, stretch the back. Dynamite has done some, really good stuff, bringing back a lot of the pulps, especially Doc Savage. Well, more the Shadow. They have done some Doc Savage stuff. I didn't enjoy that as much as I did their Shadow take. They've also brought back the Black Terror and several other obscure heroes and found places for them. But definitely one thing I would say with the pulp guys, they live in their time. If you're not doing a story that's set anywhere from the 1920s to the 1940s, somewhere in there, the characters don't really work outside of that. I've seen people try to modernize the Shadow and do him in a modern day era. It's not so great. So that's my thought. There was a trailer that popped, and we'll talk about that here next. I'm curious what you guys think about, speaking of noir stuff, this one. because as Gojitron mentions, they did the trailer for this new Spider Noir. I think Nick Cage is going to freaking nail it. But what do you guys think? I'm really curious about how this is going to go. I don't have Amazon Prime, but I might, I might slide into it just to watch this series. I like the idea. I like the fact that it's Ben Reilly and not Peter Parker. I like the fact that it's set in a very noir era feel, flavor. Everything I've seen about it so far looks really good. And I like Nick Cage. He plays really good eccentric characters. And this is definitely an eccentric character. He voiced the Spider Noir in the Spider-Verse cartoon films. Did a great job with that. So I'm hoping this works, man. They kind of, I don't remember who it was, but recently somebody did a new Batman cartoon series, and it had more of a noir year one kind of flavor, but they made some changes that were what's the word, didn't fit with the time period. Didn't fit. If you're going to do a 30s crime drama, don't try to bring in today's politics. It doesn't make any sense. So it's a thing. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about some of this stuff while I check the chat. Hey, Action Joe Figs, good evening. Good to see you, sir. Good to see some other friendly faces around. Andy and Indy says, yeah, nostalgia runs in multiples of 30 years. I hadn't thought about it, but that kind of makes sense. Yeah. Everybody's nostalgia is a little bit different depending on what your baseline is. So, yeah, I have to noodle on that a bit. Goji's saying, I love wacky multiverse stuff. So I'll definitely check out the new show. Cool. I didn't know if there was a Are you saying just because this is an alternate take, or is there multiverse shenanigans that are going to be in this story? Because I don't know. I think Johnny's right. Rumor has it Nick is really a vampire. He's definitely wanted to play one for a long time. And when he got his chance in Renfield, he definitely hammed it up and had a great time. Robert says, I will watch Spidey Noir, but never been a big fan of... Oh, yeah. I have a feeling I won't like it, but won't be upset about it. No skin off. But Nick Cage is an acquired taste. Yeah, either you love him or you just think he's a big ham. Okay, it was Amazon. Yeah. I tried to like it. I liked the style of the animation. Some of the aspects I thought were good. It was similar to what Tim Burton had done with the animated universe that made Gotham its most Gothamous since the, even though that was kind of a takeoff on the 89 films version of Gotham, I think Bruce Timm and company made that their own. And there was some, definitely noir, but also some Art Deco kind of influences. It was a good style. Nobody's topped that. And I think this recent Batman show, it wasn't as good. Hey, Wraith Mace. Good to see you, sir. I noticed you've been doing some more Warhammer 40K stuff on your channel. Good on you. Looks great. I cannot afford to keep up with Warhammer. I've got too many other hobbies, but I'm enjoying watching you indulge. So have a good WOG. Cape Crusader, that's what it was called. I know Tim was involved, but it just didn't feel like the same as what he had done with the original animated series. So I don't know. He's getting older, things are changing, and he didn't have the same crew working with him. 20, 30. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. But nostalgia is definitely a big seller these days, which is kind of sad. I'd like to see some original stories that didn't need to be member berries or nostalgia bait. Can anybody write an original story anymore? Action Joe Viggs. Oh, you did already get your Doc Savage. Awesome. Mine is in my pile of loot. I'm awaiting it to put him with the Shadow, because that's a It's a cool team up. Super cool. Yeah, definitely. I remember the Ron Eli movie. It wasn't it wasn't great, but it was okay. As a kid, I loved it, but I don't think it aged well. I loved Ron Eli, especially because he used to play Tarzan. That's where I knew him from, and then he got the Man of Bronze gig, and that was cool. But yeah, the movie's worth a watch if you are a Doc Savage fan. A little corny, very. It didn't know what it wanted to be. It didn't know if it wanted to be a serious film or if it wanted to be camp, and it kind of, it fell in the middle. Grindhead says, "I will judge said thing once I have seen said thing. Keeps my blood pressure and BSQ low." Indeed, that's fair. That goes back to don't drive angry. Yes, I like diesel punk. Um, I never really thought of it that way, but you're right. There's definitely a lot of diesel punk elements to what the animated series Batman was. Yeah, cool, indeed. And yeah, it definitely there's a lot of camp in that film. I enjoyed it for what it was, but some people it was a turnoff. If you're talking about the Batman the Animated Series theme song, yes, I agree, Andy. I enjoyed that. I still do. It's on one of my playlists I have in the background when I'm tinkering around in the lair. Yeah, definitely cool. So anyway, I'm hopeful that Cage can capture the noir vibe and pull it off. I think he will. I'm hopeful. It's been a long time since we've had a fun show that wasn't bogged down with its own uh, issues. I'll just leave it at that. So let's do some drinking and thinking because God knows I need to finish this Guinness. Oh, speaking of the Spider Verse, I thought it was appropriate to have Peter and our favorite rum-soaked pirate have a little chat. So I'm gonna definitely try to get back into some toy photography, just because I haven't taken the time, set it up, get all the props, yada yada. It's fun, but you got to make time for it. So I want to talk about some stuff that is hitting the interwebs. This just came out this week, and as I say here, about damn time. This is a Falcon I've been waiting for. This is a Falcon I had as a kid. I had the Mego superheroes, Captain America and Falcon. That was my buddy cop team next to Batman and Robin, who were also in the Mego team and in the same scale, which we may be getting again soon. With Mattel taking over DC Universe again, I think we're going to see Marvel Legends and DC Universe in the same scale and more compatible than ever when Mattel takes over. That's my prediction. We'll see. But man, I've been wanting this Falcon. I love this character. I have several other Falcons they've done with the more modern costumes, but this is my Falcon. The 70s style, the uh, shorter wings, the cool suit. Definitely have been waiting for this to show up. Why they put it in Secret Wars? I guess he was a character in Secret Wars, but it's been a long time since I read the comic, and I never got all of the toys, so I don't even remember. If he was in the toy line, it was probably towards the tail end. But maybe you guys know better. Jody says, yeah, exactly. I love the Falcon. Red Wing is a bird, not a drone. Exactly. Although, let's go take a look and see what they got going over there. Because, oh man. Me go. You go. We all go. For Largo. You're a poet, Johnny. And didn't know it. Aw. Yeah, definitely. When they showed that, yeah, I hear you. I have the comic book cover Migo. Like, oh yeah, I remember that one. He was really beefy. That figure was he 8-inch or 9-inch scale? I can't remember. They were big, but they were similar to the Migos. But that's the last time I think we got this costume in toy form. But yeah, that was a good one. So, all right, let me jump over here and see what we've got. If I don't crash this thing. There's some other stuff here I wanted to talk about. Uh, random. Okay. Yeah, let's look at Big Bad because I have them up here. A lot of new stuff coming. Definitely want to talk about Battlestar Galactica. We'll get into that in a second. But let me see if I can find the Falcon here. Oh yeah, and Storm Arena is doing some new stuff. I think some of you guys are into that. Let's see, Marvel. Where'd he go? There he is. So we've got the Absorbing Man, which I remember from the Secret Wars, and he's a good Hulk villain. Well, he's just kind of just a good villain. Constrictor, I could take or leave. I love magic. I like this new style. But yeah, definitely first one I want to talk about is the Falcon. So I really like the design. The suit looks good. My bugaboo with it is that damn waist. I hate that waist. They have done other figures that have more of a modern waist. This is an old articulation design. I wish they would quit using it. It's a thing. But the figure looks good. I'm liking the wings. His wings were shorter back in the 70s. He didn't have the giant wings that he has in modern day. This looks comic accurate, I think. The boots definitely do. The suit looks good. I'm not crazy about this. They gave Red Wing a giant red suppository so he could hang out, and it just looks uncomfortable. I know with G.I. Joe Classified, when they did what's his name, Iron Knife, and his Spirit Iron Knife and his Eagle. The Eagle actually plugged into the arm, and I think that would have been a much better way to do Red Wing. But I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking with this. What do you guys think? The shield thing, it's a gimmick. It was a gimmick when Secret Wars came out. I would rather have other accoutrements. I'd rather have better accessories than the stupid shield I'm never going to take out of the package. But I do like the fact they gave us two sets of wings. We have the open wings, the relaxed wings. He's got flight hands. That's something a lot of Marvel Legends have been missing, is extra hands. Excuse me, totally makes sense. Having Red Wing, it's a good set. And for the new price point at $27.99, I think, it comes with a lot of stuff. So I'm definitely picking this up. I even like the Secret Wars packaging. It feels like it fits the era, the time. Although if they did something more 70s, I would have been happy with that too. But see what you guys are saying in the chat about it. So Falcon was in. Oh, okay. It was in Wave 2. I had Doctor Doom. I had Iron Man. I had Cap. I'm trying to remember who else. I had a handful, but I think all of mine, my Secret War stuff, was pretty much just Wave 1. Oh, Spidey. Definitely had Spidey. But I don't remember the second wave, or if it was even in stores where I lived as a kid. I remember it getting hard to find. So maybe that's why I didn't see it. There was a Daredevil, and they've reintroduced Daredevil for Secret Wars here too. Yeah, so he's kind of scarce. I would assume Falcon is kind of like what Cyborg was for the Superpowers line. Definitely hard to find. Ah, yeah, that older Mego style. Those were taller. The Migos were 8-inch. Those famous covers were 9-inch. Yeah, I remember now. Grindhead says 2006 is already going hard with some good reveals overall. I was not expecting it. I really thought it would be a year for the industry to regroup, which is kind of true with what we're seeing with the Turtles and with DC Universe. Really thought it would be, yeah, a year for the industry to regroup. It's nice to be wrong so far. I agree. We're seeing really good stuff. Not just in the indie circles, which I think has been outpacing the big guys a lot lately. We've seen a lot of independent toy makers doing some really fun stuff. But yeah, I think Mattel and Hasbro are still in the game, obviously. They're doing some stuff that the fans have been asking for. We'll talk about that in a minute too. Yeah, I'm with Rob. I don't keep that crap. I don't need that stuff. I like the lenticular thing because it's a gimmick, but I just want a good figure in a classic costume. So what's the point? I mean, I don't know. It's a nostalgia thing. Whatever. Wolverine needs a shield and a decoder ring, or he drives angry. Okay, Johnny, I did not know that. That makes sense. Now the shield makes sense. Thank you for explaining it. But yeah, I'm happy with the Falcon. I'm not sure about some of the others. This is a retread Daredevil. It looks to be the same or a similar buck to some other Daredevils they've done in the past. I never liked just the plain black DD, but it's not bad. He's penless. It's a good looking suit. I have one of the other Daredevils they've done, plus I have the Mofex Daredevil, so I'm good on Daredevils. But if you don't have one, this one's not terrible. I kind of like it. I'm on the fence about it. I don't need it. I need the Falcon. I don't know if I need this Daredevil. But he's in my maybes. This is silly. It's like, I get what they're trying to do here, but it's a fail. His suit was way more torn up than this. They gave him one little battle damaged piece on his arm. His suit was trashed by the time he picked up the black ball of goo that turned into the symbiote suit. So, I don't know. It'll sell because it's Spider-Man, but the concept is cool. I think they could have done it much better. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you picking this up? Is this just going to be one of those that's just you shake your head at like I'm shaking my head at right now? I'm sure people will get into it, but it's a thing. But yeah, you guys know Ghost Rider's old news now, but the classic Johnny Blaze is good. So there's some cool stuff on the horizon from Secret Wars, and I thought the Werewolf by Night. I have werewolves on the brain. Werewolf by Night was disappointing, but the Wolverine in Secret Wars, I thought it wasn't terrible. It was pretty good. But enough with Marvel Legends. I don't collect a lot of Legends anymore. I just want some of the classics I enjoyed as a kid, like the Falcon there. I don't know where you guys are in it. This I'm super excited about. I loved Battlestar Galactica as a kid. I remember watching this when it first premiered. I think I saw this in the theater because I think the first episode or first two episodes they kind of did as a film theater release. Then it was a TV show. But I'm looking forward to this. I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys feel the same. Looking in the chat. Hey, Lord of Brooklyn. Indeed, greetings from... We were saying nice things about Hasbro today, which we don't always do, but we did today, because I'm liking what they're doing with Secret Wars. So nice to see you. Grindhead saying he has the older Daredevil from pre-2020. I think I have the same one. The new one is just... Yeah, it's a step up. Definitely interesting. For Grindhead to skip a Spidey, that's something. So, yeah, that Spidey was close, but no cigar. Anyway, let's talk about Battlestar, because I'm loving this. I'm not loving the prices. I'm with Robert. The prices seem a bit much, especially for it being 1/18 scale, or the Lord scale, as some would say. I like the sculpts. I don't know if these are digital renders or actual figures, but they look good. I noticed it's not a vac metal, but it's hard to find these days. But it's close. It's a shiny plastic. It looks similar to what Marvel Legends has done with some of their, swirly, twirly, metallic plastic stuff. I like it. They're doing really good choices, I think, for the first four. You've got Starbuck Apollo and then the 2 different flavors of Cylons. And we've got pilot helmets. We've got, it looks like we're going to have pistols. We've got the Centurions with their swords and rifles. Packaging looks cool. I like it. But the price. This set of just 4 figures, and these are 1/18 scale, $120. It seems high. But again, this is a boutique kind of indie company. I'm not real familiar with what Factory Entertainment has done before, but I like these. I'm tempted. I'm really tempted, but man, it's hard at that price point. The Viper they're doing looks really good, but again, price is crazy. I didn't pay that much for my Vanguard. I think I paid just a little bit more than $100 for a fully kitted out Vanguard with all the extra bits. So paying $250 for a Viper, that's a hard pill to swallow. And this is the only way to get Boomer. They're not selling him separate as far as I know yet. Maybe that'll change in the future. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Andy's saying, yeah, Boomer should have been one of those in the set of individual figures. I agree. Should have been a 5-figure set for that price. I agree. The stuff looks good. The Viper looks really good. I think it's going to be a screen accurate toy. It's really well done. Comes with a flight stand, which is nice. The paint on it looks really good. The cockpit is, tight and tiny, just like it was in the show. I don't know, man. Definitely want it, but I don't think I'm going to shell out the bucks. Not for 1/18 scale. If this was 1/12 scale, I'd still have a hard time with that price point, but I'd probably justify it better because it'd be bigger, but I don't know. Yeah, $30 and higher. $30 each is higher than most boutique companies. For 1/18 scale, yeah, it seems like most good 1/18 stuff is 20 to 25, I think. That seems to be the going rate. 30's a bit much. Although, Fresh Monkey, their stuff's creeping up there. Super 7's pretty spendy too. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, so, I don't know. Oh, I didn't realize, yeah, the Viper lights up. I didn't know it had a remote. So it's got lights and sounds. Still $250, man. That's, I don't know. It does look good. I'll give it that. So I'll be curious to see who picks this up, who doesn't. I enjoyed the original series a lot. I don't know if these guys are going to continue to do other characters in the line, like Adama, some of the other bridge crew. I guess it's a wait and see. If these sell really well, they may continue the line. I don't know. But we'll definitely keep an eye on it. So, very interesting. Let's see what else is going on. I don't collect a lot of Street Fighter stuff, but I do have some of the Jada Toys Street Fighter guys. Who do I have? I've got Fei Long, because he's kind of my Bruce Lee knockoff kind of guy, so he was always kind of my favorite. And then Chun-Li. I haven't picked up all of them because I didn't play a lot of Street Fighter. I didn't have a whole lot of love for it. I like the characters, but I don't need them on my shelf. But I like what Jada Toys was doing, and especially at their price point. Now, with these Storm Arenas Street Fighter from Storm Collectibles, man, great price point. Very much import style articulation. $30. Yeah, I'm all in on this. Just because I like this character in this costume. I like this better than her traditional costume. It's more, fight gear. This is what you expect her to wear going to the gym. I like the sneakers. She got the banakadonk. She got those, power thighs like she's supposed to. I like the style. She is supposed to be younger in Alpha 3 than she is in Street Fighter 2, so she definitely has the youthful appearance. I don't know. It's a cool figure that'll fit in with other stuff. If you just want a good kung fu girl to fit in with your Action Force, Monster Force, fill in the blank, this one's going to be a fun one. So I'll definitely pick this up. I missed out on the Ken and Ryu in this line. They'd already sold out by the time I started thinking about it. I'm sure there'll be other flavors or player 2 or 3 versions, so I might get into that. So let's see. Robert saying, oh, there might be a Boomer 5-pack available on their website for those guys. Oh, I did not know that. Very interesting. I'll have to check that out. Looks like I'm getting error message there. See what else you guys have got going. Hopefully the stream is still up. Let me double check. I just got an error message. What just happened? Did we crash? Sorry, guys, my computer wigged out there for a second. I wasn't sure if we lost the stream. Looks like we're still up. Andy says we can still see you, hopefully. But yeah, I couldn't. It wigged out for a second, so apologies. Looks like we're still going. Let's see what we got here. Where was I? Jada will also make Alpha 3. Oh, okay. Jada's going to be doing the Alpha 3s as well. That'll be interesting. They're definitely neck and neck competitors these days. So price point's good. They're driving each other. We're seeing all of the classics with Jada as far as Street Fighter. I think they've completed the roster or will complete the roster this year. There's only a couple of characters left that haven't come out. I'm more interested in what they're doing with Scooby Doo. I've got Shaggy and a couple of the villains that they've already put out for Wave 1. Scooby, I think Scooby's Wave 2. He might be Wave 3. Either way, they've shown him off at Toy Fair. I want him. I want the whole gang. You know, they're doing cartoony stuff well. They also do video game stuff well. Mega Man's pretty cool. Just not my thing. I'm into other stuff, but it'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of with Robert. It's like I'm fine with Street Fighter once I get Vega from Jada. Yeah, I like Vega. I like who else? Cammy. Gotta love Cammy, especially Kylie Minogue Cammy. Grindhead says Eagle Force gives you much more bang for your buck. With yeah, that's fair. Fresh Monkey does give a lot of accessories and stuff, including stand and other bits, but it's hard paying those kind of prices for 1/18 scale unless you're a hardcore 1/18 guy. LED at the hardware store cost 1.1. Oh, LEDs. Gotcha. Took me a second. Yeah, it does seem like anytime they add bells, whistles, lights, price goes up. But like that Scooby van I've got back there came from the Scoob movie. It's got lights and sounds. It wasn't terribly expensive when it first came out. It was mass market. They even re-released it a few years ago. It might still be available. So it can be done. I guess it just depends on who's doing it and how much they want to charge you. But it's a thing. So speaking of that, let me get back to where I was. I totally lost my thought on what I was talking about on figure stuff. Oh yeah, speaking of Fresh Monkey, is Operation Monsterverse worth the price? Kinda, sorta. I'm thinking about it. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm curious how many of you guys are collecting. I have picked up quite a bit. It took a while to get here to Guatemala, but I did pre-order quite a bit. I think I have most of what's out now. And I'm comparing it obviously with Action Force, which I've been collecting for a while. And I like it. I don't like the price tag, but is it justified? That's my question. So, like I accidentally bumped over here earlier, these guys are Monster Force. These Blackwatch agents, I did a head swap, put a cloth goods jacket on this guy. I'm really enjoying him. We've got the Invisible Man, the Lieutenant Griffin here. Really fun character. I like what they're doing. I like the concept of Monster Force. As you can see, I've got them interspersed with some of my Action Force stuff. They scale well. They look good together. If you like military stuff, if you like beasties and baddies, monsters, maybe it's worth the price point for you. It's kind of where I'm at. I don't know. It's a thing. So I don't know. When they came out, I was excited. It took them a while to get them out. There were some hiccups, I think, with manufacturing or shipping or tariffs. I don't know the whole story. But the ones I've gotten so far, the couple series that are out, I like them pretty well. They seem to be, in my opinion, they're kind of putting themselves in the market kind of in the area of like Cosmic Legions, Mythic Legions, as far as price point and niche. They do a lot of hand painted detail. Excuse me. They do a lot of shading, a lot of paint work. Articulation's good. Crazy amount of accessories. Very nice packaging. I'm going to do a video on it because I'm thinking about how I want to compare them and whether or not I'm going to continue investing in the line. But yeah, it's like as far as army building, the price point's not there. Some of their main characters, especially like the Donner Party, I think is fun. Lieutenant Griffin, some of the others definitely are fun. Their new guy, let me find him here. I think I have him on the slide. Yeah, Chatsworth. I definitely like him. But is he worth $80? That's what he's going to be going for. I've got him on pre-order. I love me some Sasquatch. I like the idea of a Bigfoot with a big weapon. He's got kind of a Rambo kind of flavor to him. It's a fun character. He's 8 inches tall, but I don't know, man. I remember a time when you could get even the beefy Marvel Legends were less than $80. I didn't pay 80 for like my Hulk or some of the others. Nowadays, some of those prices are up there, but he seems kind of spendy, especially when you've got other companies like Loose Collector. Is also putting out a Bigfoot this year, and he's 10 inches. He's a little bit more at 110, but dude, he looks so good. He's definitely on my list. So compared with this, is this really a good deal? If you're a Monster Force guy, maybe. But if I have a choice between the two, I think this one's my Bigfoot. He's just a bigger scale, cooler look. He doesn't have the niche kind of cartooniness that this one's going to have. Both are good, but who deserves to be on your shelf at that price point? $80 for 8 inches and 110 for 10 inches. I don't know. Who am I kidding? I'm probably going to buy them both because I love Bigfoot. But I don't know. Values going to be interesting to justify. I'm trying to justify in my head why I'm going to spend this much money on a furry piece of plastic. Roberts, I'm probably going to get probably going to get Brain Guy and oh, Invisible Man. I'm very picky. Yeah, Dr. Caligari, the Brain Guy, I have up here. He's fun. Had to do some research on the silent era character he's supposed to be based on, but Brain in a Jar guy, fun. Kind of reminds me of something from Hellboy. If you know, you know. But Fresh Monkey's no stranger to homages and characters that are similar to other characters. We'll get into that someday. But yeah, like I said, I've got Chatsworth on pre-order. I'll probably pick him up because he's cool. I'm definitely getting this Bigfoot from Loose Collector because I have their Crypt Great Wolves. They're super cool. They're huge. They look good. They're monsters. What I'm really excited for is this. I don't know how many guys jumped in on this stuff. The Serpent Temple. Secret of the Serpent Temple. Dude, this is freaking Adventure Team. It's got the look. It's definitely the vibe. It's cool character with a cheesy animal, monster, adventure kind of thing. This is what I grew up with, cut my teeth on as a kid. Growing up, I was an Adventure Team kid. My first Joe was Fuzzy Head, Kung Fu Grip, Land Adventurer. I really enjoyed these. I've been begging for Hasbro to do something with this. And they didn't. They kind of skipped over Adventure Team, went right to all of the 80s Joes for their G.I. Joe classified team. And I think it's a shame. I think a lot of people would have wanted this. Grindhead saying the reason is simple. You've had a shit couple of years. Oh, for me, just fine. Got it. I thought you were talking about something. Well, yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Andy also has pre-ordered Coils of Doom. Yeah, I like the look. It like I said, it screams, Adventure Team vibes to me. Although the face kind of, is it just me or is that kind of give me William Shatner vibes? I'm seeing a young Bill Shatner here, not so much an Adventure Team guy. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, we'll take a look over here at their what they've got on the Dumaflachi. It's an interesting path for them to go down. If I can find it. I didn't actually pull that up here. There's a lot of stuff. These Gridiron Warfare guys are kind of cool. But again, Army Builders, I'm going to go Action Force. It's a better deal. Dark Directives, there's some fun stuff there if you're into the translucents. I like what they're doing there. I always think of Zakanin when I see this translucent Forgotten King. I don't know why. The Wolves are fun. I'm always a sucker for monsters. I have a couple of the Delta Reds. I like them. The Dracula, other than not having a cool cloth goods cape, I think he's great. I think he should have come with a cape, but yeah, they're doing their own take on him. Van Helsing's fun. Chatsworth's going to be fun. Soldiers of Fortune look interesting. But let me see if I can find... I'm not in on Cops. That wasn't my era. I was already out of toys when that came on. The Tick is fun, but I'm kind of on the fence about that one because it doesn't really fit with my stuff. Crimson Moon looks good. Fresh Monkeys looks good. Here we go. So, Temple. Yeah, the pre-order's already sold out. I'm assuming when they get these in later this year, they may have a couple more. So if you didn't get it, you may have an opportunity. Yeah, Andy says he kind of thinks he's, Fassbender. I've got the Magneto Fassbender head. I might do a head swap. But yeah, I'm still saying Shatner, but I could see Fassbender too. And the alternate head, let's see if I can pull that up. I know there was a picture. Here it is. Is it just me, or does that kind of look like George Lazenby James Bond for the alternate head? I don't know. That was, that was a vibe I got. All right, mental note. No more Guinness. It makes me belch. But this is totally what you used to get with the Adventure Team sets when I was a little kid. You get some sort of cheesy monster that was non-articulated. Maybe you get an outfit. You definitely get weapons and accessories, extra bits. This comes with an adventure map. He's got the machete. He's got the golden dagger, which is whatever the MacGuffin is that they're after. He's got his sidearm. He's got a... Is that a K-bar? It's a survival knife of some sort. So it's got all the bits you want. It's definitely easy to see what this is an homage to. And is it an homage or is it just a straight ripoff? I like it. Homage is probably the nice way to see it. Robert says now he cannot unsee Bill Shatner. Sorry, buddy. If you're not a fan of the Shatner form of expression, but I'm cool with a young Bill Shatner as an adventure team guy. So I would like some Kung Fu grip. It is cool, but can my Kung Fu grip beat Johnny's Ninja Claw? I don't know. We'll have to check that out. The General from Monster Force comes with the perfect head for Agents of Omega. I agree. I have that one. I have him here on the toy can, way in the back. Let me pull him up. I put him on one of the soldiers. Whoa, here he is. Look at that head. Who is that? Yeah, definitely an homage is putting it lightly. That's freaking Joe. That's the Joe you know. So, rumor has it we will be seeing more of this head sculpt in different colors, maybe even with some flock, because, you know, you got to flock it. We'll see. We'll see how far they take that. But I think he's going to be featured in the Soldiers of Fortune subgroup that they're doing. I really like this head sculpt. I'm looking forward to some of the other stuff that they've got coming. Like I said, this one's coming. They've also got that other one. Let me see if I can find it here. It's coming as the Soldiers of Fortune guy. The terrorist guy. I looked at that and I was, yeah, this guy, the Saboteur. I'm like, dude, I can definitely make an adventure team guy. I'm going to take this guy, put that general head on there, and that'll probably be my G.I. Joe commander for the adventure team. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Land, yeah, definitely has that land adventurer vibe, doesn't he? That head sculpt's really good. I agree. Kirk was the better captain. So, we're on the same page, Robert. Johnny says he does think that other head looks a little bit like Lazenby. Watch him in Man from Hong Kong this week. I have not seen that one. I'll have to check it out. Oh, that's unfortunate. Huh. Lazenby was an interesting character. He was a good Bond. He doesn't get his I don't think he gets his due. Mostly because he famously listened to the wrong advice and tried to ask for too much money for the second film, and they said, kick rocks, we'll get a new Bond. He could have been great. He was great in the one, His Majesty's Secret Service, I think was the one film he did. I liked him. Definitely a more human Bond. You get to see more of him, less as just the, cold-hearted agent, is more of a man of, many passions. Anyway, I digress. So I'm interested in what they're doing with some of this stuff. I'll pick up some of this, but I don't think I'm going all in on the whole line. But I definitely thought this was pretty well done. And I was happy to see it, although I really kind of wanted Hasbro to give us an adventure team homage at least with Classified, and they never did. But I did find this when I was doing some research. I don't know how many of you guys already knew about this. Back in 2024, there was an article in CBR that says at one time they were thinking about doing an adventure team cartoon and accompanying toy line. This would have been before Classified came out. So I'll pull up the article here, but basically they said the pitch was in the 2010s. It was going to be titled G.I. Joe Adventure Team. It was going to be more about adventure and rescue, which was kind of the vibe for Adventure Team. So it was going to be very much what they were in the 70s, as written sort of as a prelude to the 80s Real American Hero Joes. So it was going to be a cartoon that would be a prequel to Real American Hero. And I think that would have been awesome. I like the look of this. I pulled up the article so we could take a look. If you guys are interested, I will copy. Make copy. Come here. Yeah, let me put that in the chat. Find it here. Don't mind me as I bumble around. Let me put this in the chat. Yeah, so that's the link. That's the chat. That is the link in the chat for the article. Let me find it here. Yeah, so yeah, this is what they pitched. These were recently put out. They were going to have Rocky as the land adventurer, Ace as the air adventurer, Skip as the sea adventurer, and Eagle Eye as just the adventurer. So I like the fact they had some names for the group other than just Joe. I like the design here. Obviously, I'm partial to the land adventurer, which is definitely your guy in the jacket. It's a fun look. I think it would have really been a good cartoon. I'm sorry that we never got to see this actually happen. There's a couple of other pieces here where they talk about the pitch. It's definitely worth a read. So I would check this article out if you're so inclined, if you're a fan of Adventure Team, as I was. They were even going to bring in some other stuff, even though they're going to be more about villains. I'm sorry, not villains, but more about, rescue stuff, natural disasters. Yeah, this would have been, I think they went with Sigma 6 instead of this, which, I wasn't that crazy about Sigma 6. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't great. But I would have definitely rather had this. They would have seen him going to, exotic places, doing stuff. It wouldn't have been Cobra, but it would have been these guys, Mars, which totally would have worked. And they've tried to kind of, softly introduce these ideas in some of the Collector Club 12-inch Joes. They've done some homage stuff to this with, the Lost Adventurer, the Man of Evil. I think they did a toy convention or a Joe convention exclusive figure of him, and he had this Mars logo, which would have been kind of cool. So they would have had a villain group, more like, eco-terrorist kind of thing. It definitely would have been a revival of Adventure Team spirit, but with, some new stuff going on. They would have had some cameos like this where you'd see, maybe a young Destro, a young Baroness before they became Cobra. Anyway, I thought you guys would find that interesting. I know I did. So, who knew? Apparently, the guy who wrote this article knew, because I didn't. What's his name? Timothy Blake Donahue. Yeah, so he wrote an article about this a couple years back. And so, yeah, it's a thing. It was a thing. It could have been a thing. It should have been a thing. Now you know. And knowing is, well, you know. So, hey, Allison, good to see you. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see everybody. It's good to see all the familiar names. I'm glad you guys wanted to tune in to my ramblings. Andy says, I have the whole pitch downloaded and wrote synopsis for about. Oh, wow. That is cool. I would love to see you do something with that, with your 12-inch guys, doing some video adventure kind of stuff. Yeah, that is cool. Very cool. I know a lot of guys in the Axis of Awesome, which is guys who do more of the 1/6 scale 12-inch Joes, have been doing some really fun stuff. And Jeff from Skunkworks has put a challenge out for this year to do kind of a cryptid adventurer. And you don't have to use your 12-inch Joes. You could do other toys, Action Force, Monster Force, whatever. Just make a good story, do some toy photography, and put it all together. So if you're interested in that, go check out Jeff over at Skunkworks and see what he's got going. I think that's going to be later this summer. I'll let you guys know in future videos when I get more info on it. I'll talk to Jeff. But yeah, that'll be fun. So anyway, the Joe that never was but could have been that I would have really liked. And then on to, are you guys going to pick up this stuff? Valaverse is expanding beyond just Action Force, as you guys probably know. The Black will be coming probably March, April, and Action Force 44 we might see by the end of the year. We haven't heard anything official. The Black is a definite. Zolocon is going to have an exclusive figure. The regular Black figures will be up on the website probably, I'm guessing, in March, late March, early April. But, he likes to surprise us, so Bobby. But are you picking this up? I'm liking the Modern Pirate thing. I like the SEAL tie-in. My dad was a Navy corpsman, so I'm hoping we'll see a corpsman in the Black. I know there are SEALs who are corpsmen, so it could happen. But I'm curious if you guys are going to be picking up any of that. Oh, yeah. Action Joe Figs is definitely a card-carrying member of the Axis of Awesome, as are many of our friends out here. And he's done some fun stuff, too. Andy and Indies saying Jeff's challenge is called, Hunters of the Unknown. Thank you. I'd forgotten. But yes, that's going to be fun. We'll look into more of that. Robert is excited for the Black. I think it's a cool concept. The Commando, let me see if I can reach him without breaking something. Use my reach. Excuse me while I whip this out. I'll switch over here so you don't have to see my big belly. My big belly. Oh, I have to reach up because I've got a shelf above me here. Yeah, I'll spare you that. The Commando is going to be pretty much the base for the Black's. I can't remember what he's calling his basic guys, but they'll be like, basic troopers of this style, this kind of look with, skull print kind of bandanas and whatnot. And then the signature characters look to be Blackbeard and Vane. I think it's Vane. Yeah, from an homage to the Black Sails character, with the likeness of the same actor. So I'm definitely excited for that. That will be fun. Excuse me. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I really hope he pulls off the World War II stuff with Action Force 44. It's a fun concept. Everybody loves the uniform designs from that era. Not to diminish the horrificness of a world war, but how many of our favorite old black and white movies or adventure series have been based in something from World War II growing up? So hopefully he gets that one right. I gotta agree, as it's been said, this is the official, not official, not Chad, but really Chad kind of look. When you look at his logo and you look at this guy, you're like, yeah, I'm sure it was totally a coincidence, but yeah, I've got a bunch of little camo Chadlings running around in my collection. So now I just need Annoyed to go with him as his wingman. But yeah, so the first vehicle for the Black, I think the it looks like a Zodiac is kind of an attack boat, if you will. I don't know the proper terminology. I think that's going to be a designated Black vehicle and not just Action Force, but we'll see. It doesn't matter either way. It's all compatible. It's all in the same Valaverse universe. So hopefully those will lead to some other stuff. Most of the stuff recently has been a lot of repaints or variants of this new body style that he's been doing with Series 6. I'm liking them. But yeah, I'm ready to see some actual named characters coming out. So that's going to be something. And speaking of that, one of the things I've been kind of sort of working on in the background, but haven't finished, I've been working on a video for this because, oh, Corsairs. Thank you. I forgot what he called it, the base troops. Corsairs. That's right. Yeah, I want to do a comparison. Action Force versus Monster Force. Price point, quality, articulation, the whole shebang. So look for that in the future. I'm going to be doing a video on those guys. Because now that I have quite a few of each toy line, I can sit down and tinker with them and do some toy photography and figure out my thoughts on it, which, you know, it's a thing. Robert agrees. He's also looking forward to seeing what the World War II designs would be. Cool. Action Joe did a 3D print of his own boat. That'll be cool. Man, 3D printing has come a long way. There's some fun stuff out there. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what people do with some other, you know, play set style stuff beyond vehicles, beyond just accessories. I want to see, you know, some diorama stuff. There's been a lot done with, you know, foam core and paint, but 3D, I think there's a lot of potential there. So we'll see what comes in the future. Speaking of the future, let's go to the past. Retro Nuevo is coming back. I'm working on a shadow script. It's almost kind of done, but I'm tinkering with it because there's so much lore. But I definitely want to do a companion to the Doc Savage Retro Nuevo video that I did before the hiatus. But beyond that, I think we need to give the ladies a chance. I was thinking Phantom Lady, literally. She is a classic character. But there's Miss Fury. There's obviously Zatanna. There's quite a few ladies of Pulp Fiction era. Or we could even go newer. We could look at someone like Barbarella, more of a 70s kind of character. But I think after I do the Shadow, I definitely want to do a female character for retro. But what would you guys like to see? I'm curious for Retro Nuevo what kind of characters you'd like to see me do videos on. Because I definitely want to do more of that. I've been missing that. I enjoyed doing the research, characters I thought I knew, and then started doing a little digging and realized there's a whole lot more lore in the rabbit hole. So I thought about maybe doing the Phantom, but he's been kind of done. But Phantom Lady, that's a different animal. Who else? Maybe Tarzan, maybe Zorro. But I'd like to find some more obscure, less featured characters to do. So maybe you guys put some ideas in the chat or, you know, hit me up on my Instagram and let me know what you guys are thinking you'd like to see. That's where my head's at. I've still kind of simmered in the pulps. That's been my ballywick lately. And getting back to some of the more esoteric stuff, I wrote some scripts for doing a series on the muse. What inspires you, whether it's a literal person or a Greek goddess or a particular song or your dog or your favorite dolly, I don't know. Everybody's got a muse. Everybody's got something that inspires them, whether it's a desk buddy or it is a favorite memory or a literal significant other that inspires you to be creative. So this is another video series I want to delve into. I'm not sure how deep. It depends on whether you guys are interested or not. So just wanted to put that out there. This is something you might see coming. What do you think? Is that something you're interested in? We'll talk about it more in other live streams. The muse can be many things to many people, and I thought I would do a series that talks about all the different flavors of what a muse can be. So that's kind of where my head's at. Buck Rogers. Ooh, Buck would be good. Definitely a comparison with the early cliffhanger serial days compared to what he became in the 70s show. I loved Gil Gerard, R.I.P. He did a great job. But the classic Buck, um, Buck and Flash Gordon were very much neck and neck as far as classic sci-fi. Um, I think Buck came first. I'll have to look into that. But yes, Buck Rogers is definitely one. I'll put him on the list. I think that's a good one because there's definitely a lot of retro stuff to do there. I like all the females you've named. I love. Oh, thank you, Robert. I enjoy doing them. Yeah, I definitely think we need to do either a femme fatale or one of the classic villain or hero female characters that is maybe unsung or was super popular and then has gone the wayside. Like I said, Phantom Lady comes up because she did end up in the DC universe later, but her early start was in the pulps as kind of the pinup girl. I might start with her, but we'll look into it. So Goji saying Fresh Monkeys. Ah, yes, the Amazing Heroes. They do a lot of Golden Age and what's the term? Not public domain. Maybe it is public domain. They do a lot of characters that they don't have to pay copyright for. So there are definitely some there. I'm not crazy about the articulation on those, but I like some of the character choices. It's very reminiscent to me of what like the Secret Wars figures were that are like, were they 5 POA? I think. If they were doing those in the style of articulation they're doing with Eagle Force or Monster Force in the 12-inch, I'd probably be all over those because I love the classic characters. Robert says, I know very little of Phantom Lady. I know the name. I know the name and know the character, but not a lot. She was part of Uncle Sam's team, which I think was called Freedom Force. I'll have to double check that. I remember reading some of those comics. She was definitely pre-Crisis was more popular as one of the World War II era from Earth X, I think. She was part of the team that would fight against the Axis powers who won World War II in that alternate universe. So Doll Man was on her team, the Human Bomb, Uncle Sam, Black Condor. Yeah, we'll get into that. I'll do Phantom Lady. I like her. She's got a lot to go with. We hear a lot about Tarzan. Nothing John Carter. That's true. John Carter may be getting an action figure. I've heard rumors. I'll look into that. I'll put John Carter on the list. He's on the list. I'll put him higher on the list because he's a cool character. And the whole Princess of Mars and all the Mars stuff, Barsoom stuff, it's really cool. And it's a shame Disney uh, didn't stick the landing on their film because it could have been a great franchise. I liked the film, but it didn't hit. Ooh, I have the Max Fleischer cartoons, which I believe just hit public domain. I'm not sure on that, but I did pick up a DVD of that many moons ago, and it's got all of those old classic. That's probably my favorite version of Superman was the Max Fleischer cartoon version because his Clark Kent wasn't a wuss nugget. Clark was a hard nosed reporter. He definitely competed with Lois. He was mild mannered, but he wasn't a wimp compared to how Clark has been portrayed in other forms. So yeah, maybe we'll talk about that some more in the future. Johnny says I liked Project Superpowers. Yes, Alex Ross covers. Those were so cool. I like the idea. Again, they took Golden Age characters that most people weren't super familiar with and did some really good storytelling with that. Goji's a John Carter fan. Yes, Barsoom is very cool. I liked John Carter more than Tarzan stories. And when they did crossover stuff, which was not often, was cool. So yeah, I think John Carter definitely worth our time and attention. Rosetta Girls, I have not seen it. I knew there was a rumor that somebody was going to do a John Carter. I'm glad they're doing it because I like what they did with Vampirella. I like their stuff from what was that? Is it Fire and Ice? The cartoon had the guy with the wolf head or wolf kind of mask thing. I don't remember his name. I've know I've seen that film, but I don't really know it well. I liked the look, but yeah, I don't buy a lot of fantasy stuff. Adjacent to what you're talking about, I saw a very cool Hellcat video. Oh yeah, Patsy Walker was a teen love heartthrob gal originally before she became a superhero. Yeah, she's been in Marvel Universe for a while. I think I saw the same video you did, but I know her history. And they kind of hinted at it in the Daredevil, or not Daredevil, Jessica Jones Netflix series because Patsy Walker was her friend. They didn't actually call her the Hellcat, I don't think, until maybe towards the end of the series, but she never got the yellow costume or anything. But anyway, they kind of went into it. Yeah, Hellcat's a fun one. But yeah, there's already a good video out there on her, but definitely worth looking into. Action Joe Fig says, having grown up with Mego as well, I've been a little disappointed in their lack of re-releasing and figures they have announced like Hawkman and Batman 89. I understand it's probably due to tariffs. Yeah, they came back strong when they came back, doing a lot of the heavy hitters, redoing Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Robin, you know. And then they did a new wave where they did Deadman, they did Nightwing in his newer costume. They did a couple of characters that were never in the original Mego line that I thought were really good. Deathstroke, I think, was also another good one. Gojitron has a lot of those, and he did some great videos on those. Who is right here? Yes. Oh, Fire and Ice Dark Wolf was the fantasy character from Rosetta Girls. I like what they did with those, so I could see them doing a great John Carter. I did a short on Zorro when I think Prime Video did a Zorro series. I talked about Zorro a bit. I may redo that and do a more in-depth Zorro character, but if you look on some of my earlier Retro Nuevos, I think there's a Zorro episode. But he's worth a revisit. He comes in the night when the full moon is bright. Indeed, Largo's Barroom Stories was a classic from earlier. Barroom, indeed. Boom, boom. But yeah, I got some ideas in the noodle. I want to get back into it. I've missed doing this stuff with you guys. We've been going for a while tonight. I'm glad to see you guys show up. I don't think I've got much else for you. I think that's about it. That, as they say, is a wrap. So, thanks for indulging my ADD riddled brain as I ramble. But so far, this went well with a few hiccups. Hopefully, the sound is better. Let me know what you guys want to do for live shows in the future. And, ooh, there's an idea. That's a name I don't see often. Elsa Bloodstone. Marvel character? Kind of cool. I've seen a little bit with her. I definitely would like to do some research on her. I'll look into that one. But yeah, Elsa Bloodstone would definitely fit. I would like to see her as part of Midnight Suns. I think she would definitely fit with that group. So, thanks again, Robert. Good to see you here. Thanks for taking the time. I know you got other stuff to do. Watch Robert on his Infinite Realms. He's doing some fun stuff with Toy Apocalypse and his recently rechristened, what are you calling it now? It's not Toy Apocalypse. It's just, he's covering the apocalypse as it happens. So check out Robert on his channel, Infinite Realms. It's fun. And you get to see Hordak and others and their antics. Info dump is good. Yeah, this was kind of an info dump. Just, what have I been up to? Why have I not been gracing the airwaves of the interwebs? Because I've been busy doing other stupid real life stuff that's not as fun. But I have a lot more fun doing this. So thanks for indulging me. If this is a good time, maybe we'll do this on regular. I don't know who's doing what. I haven't been really following. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I know my buddy Random Diorama does a show later tonight. But Guys, let me know in the comments or the chat what's a good time you'd like to do a live stream show where we just kind of BS about stuff and get some ideas going for future videos. Nerd apocalypse. Thank you, Robert. It was escaping me. Nerd apocalypse, more far-reaching than just the toy apocalypse, which is sad enough in itself. But yeah, thanks for covering that. I like your show. I'm enjoying that. Um, yeah, that's all I got tonight, guys. Thanks for letting me test the equipment. Nothing burned out. We had one weird glitch for a second, but that was on my end, I think. I'm glad to see everybody show up in the chat. If we didn't cover something that you think we should, uh, I'm not giving you your money back. Exactly. I can't find a time when somebody isn't doing something. So it's get in where you fit in. If you like my flavor, show up where I show up. If you prefer somebody else's stuff, do their thing. It's busy. It is very busy. Everybody's doing a show, and uh, I, I mostly do long form video, or I have in the past, but I think I want to do more streaming because it's less scripted. It's more off the cuff. It's more fun and less brain sweat. I'd like to do a co-host. I don't like monologuing, although I have been doing it for a while. If anyone's interested in co-hosting as a guest or what have you, hit me up. You know how to do that, Instagram or just something in the chat. I'm still working with getting a guest into OBS. I think Video Ninja is probably the way to go. I'm still learning that software, but it'd be good to have someone else to talk to other than, just looking at the chat and trying to make sure I'm keeping up with where you guys are. So I always work better talking with someone else other than just hearing my own voice in my head. I get that enough just in real life, hearing the voices in my head. So, guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy. Thanks for letting me come back and goof off. And I will do this again shortly, maybe next week. Uh, I don't know if this is a good time. I'll talk to some folks and we'll tinker and we'll figure out what the best time would be. But like Robert said, there's really no time to get in that somebody else isn't doing something somewhere. So uh, I'm open to suggestions. And once again, if you would be so kind, I will put this up because uh, I'm not monetized. I am only like 5 subscribers away from 500. So if getting back in and doing regular stuff gets us over that hurdle and we can do some stuff, I'll look into what kind of features we can do for memberships. But for right now, I have the Ko-Fi coffee thing, and I'm going to continue doing blog entries and stuff over here that will eventually become YouTube videos. So just to let you know about that if you didn't already. Thanks again. Um, have a great whatever, and I will do the outro and see you in the near future.